Hey guys, coming in here with a Necromancer build that I'd like to share. Hopefully I can share the philosophy behind my build path, and showcase this as a basis for most Necromancer builds because I do think there is a lot of potential and you could just do a lot of different things with this. And also, you're gonna have to excuse my mic quality because it kind of picks everything up. But anyways, I just read the patch notes and they nerfed corpse explosions, essence gain, and I guess bone spears crit chance stuff, which has nothing to do with me. And then they buffed shadow damage and some minion and summoner damage, so they actually ended up buffing my build, which is pretty crazy. Um, anyways, let me spend this point real quick, I guess. So starting off, our main damage will be actually coming from shadow, where it is just guaranteed damage. Because first of all, for me, it never made sense to go bone because you had to sacrifice all of your warriors and then golems, which just doesn't make sense to me. Because first of all, why would you sacrifice 4+3+ skeletons just to get like a little bit of stats when you can be doing extra damage and they will tank for you, right? And it doesn't feel like a necromancer to me. I want minions. I don't want to play a discount mage, all right? Like that's what the bone spear stuff feels like. You're just a discount. You're just a shittier mage. Like why would you do that to yourself, right? So you're gonna be running all the skeletons. You are going to be buffing the shit out of them with all your masteries. And you will be taking Army of the Dead since it just recently got buffed as well. And also, you don't really need to run any more survivability for your skeletons, because if they are dead, well, you will just bring them back with your ulti. And look, check this out. I mean, like, they can't be killed now. Like, these minion buffs are huge. And because of this, right, my minions are literally almost just as strong as any summoning builds. No cap. They will go and destroy most enemies themselves. Except, all the main damage of my build actually comes from me stacking shadow damage. Alright, coming back to the shadow blight key. This is just consistent damage. When they're affected by shadow damage, they get shadow blight, and it's just 10% free damage, and also extra damage every time you do shadow damage for the 10th time, right? For you and your minions. This one never really made. I mean, it's good stats, but how many times are you actually not going to take damage as a necromancer, right? You don't even have a barrier generation skill. You just have damage reduction fortifies, so this never really made too much sense to me. I don't use bone skill, so this is an automatic pass. And I don't really use overpowers. Blood skills for me never really made too much sense because I don't have that much essence to spare around, right? Because you gotta spam 8 times on the blood lance for a guaranteed overpower. You gotta spam it 5 times at least for a blood surge overpower. So who's got that much essence to spam? Like, not me. Definitely not me. 100%. So the main purpose for you to stack shadow damage is to actually use Decompose or Reap. If you want to do a fast clear, you will use Reap for generating a corpse instantly, so you can use your corpse tendril ASAP and then corpse explode into into blight to stack darkness damage with your shadow mages. But I'm using Decompose because it's just more consistent. I can stay at ranged and it increases my minion damage. And this is very important. You always take blight because it is damage over time. Alright, and all of your damage buffed up will also stack on the DOT instead of just the initial damage. So, and keep in mind, you know, obviously extra damage, essence, this is very important. I'll just do a quick run through of everything I've clicked so you can pause if you need to. And also, you can replace the corpse tendril, 1, 2, 3, 3 points, replace that into the golem, and then just take the bone golem instead for more corpses, because you want the bone for the taunt, so it kind of acts like a corpse tendril, right? It draws the crowds together in a single spot, except corpse tendril obviously has a lower cooldown and it stuns, and I can get them vulnerable so they get deleted really fast. But bone golem actually is overall just a much consistent build, because you're gonna drop corpses and have an extra tanky guy for bosses. It really is that simple. But I'll showcase the darkness stuff really quick. And you know, click most of these. This is a must click. 2 points into that, 2 points into this. Depends on what you want. But that's about it. So, let's see if I can quickly showcase the damage. Anyway, the point of this build is, like I said, stacking shadow damage. So it is actually quite important after you set everything up to decompose your target, because that's your third source of stacking shadow damage. And what that does, let's get into the items right now. Maximum number of skeletons increased by 2, so this will help increase my amount of Reaper skeleton warriors, which generates more corpses, obviously. Maximum number of skeleton mages for stacking shadow damage. This is just some free damage. This probably could be swapped off for something else, but I have, there's still so much more potential, because my helmet is open. I can swap this, imprint this skeleton warriors onto my boots, which is useless right now, and then replace this with something like more survivability and possibly more damage. Same thing with here. It's just like, I got 3 slots open already. I got tons of more potential. More survivability with the barrier. It's kind of nice. You would want either the barrier or the bubble. You can run both if you really want to, but probably run one of them. And here's the important ones. Each time a Shadow Blight key passive deals damage to enemies, increase the next Shadow Blight damage within 10 seconds by 60%, stacking that 5 times, 200% damage. This is whatever. This is also pretty nice. So because of how little I actually need to use Essence, this is just free damage from my skills. Straight up. You'll see why. And here, the most important one, you want this on your two-handed weapon. You do 226% increased damage for 6 seconds after Shadow Blight key damage. Damages enemy 10 times. Alright, you'll see. So, let's get it started.
Not while I'm in town.
This build does require a little bit of setup to do the full damage. Oh, nice. But you'll see what I mean once they start stacking. Pull them together. Like, so the only time you'll die is pretty much from elite enemies dying, and then you're not watching, right? So if you run the barrier, you'll just get the barrier for more survivability off the bat. If you run the bubble, you literally just can't get one-shotted, unless you legitimately get one-shotted in one hit. Otherwise, you just can't die inside the bubble, right? Maybe it would be better for me to do a what? Let's do this instead, actually. Yeah. But the main point of the build is that you can infinitely theoretically stack both Blight and Corpse Explosion damage in one spot, and they're all damaged over time, right?
I cannot do
So
that
you
here.
can stack insane amount of shadow damage, increasing your own damage, and your minions are all just as strong as any minion build. I'll try to showcase it right now. I'm not gonna do anything. They are going to pretty much murk this. Right? Like, not doing much. Just buffing them.
Nodding off.
Slay the watch.
No one essence.
Alright, I'm gonna go radial silent now and just let you enjoy the clear speed of this build.
I need more time. I need more time. I'm not ready yet. I need more time.
Well, one thing I like to mention is that there is a legendary aspect that I know will increase your attack speed by like up to 60%, which is actually really important that I do not have. So that will buff this build quite a bit because what matters on the skeletons is the attack speed, right? Because every time you attack with the Reaper, it has a chance to generate um, corpses, and you want extra times shadow damage stacked with a shadow mage, so attack speed is more important than attack damage on the skeletons. Sorry, I said backwards. So attack speed is more important than attack damage on the skeletons, 100%. I think I'm gonna swap back to the golem. Corpse tendril is nice and delete, but I really do not dig it more. The extra corpse is really nice.
I need more time.